Since 2014, when Russia has invaded Crimea, the Russian economy is not doing well. There are two main reasons. One of them is, as I have already indicated, is the annexation of Crimea by Russia. The other is the price of the oil and gas has dropped significantly since 2012. Considering these two effects has enormously negatively damaged the Russian economy. Now, when President Putin became another term leader in 2013, and we have seen that his approval rate was 80%. Now it is 63% or 64%. I'm sorry. And this has already shown that some part of the populace has been affected negatively because of the economy at most. Now, while we are going to now analyze what's happening with the Russian economy and the populace, we are going to also analyze, or we are going to think the most outcome scenario for Turkey. Now, we know that Russia has increased the tax from 18% to 20%. Moreover, the retirement age for women increased from 55 to 60, and for men from 60 to 65. Now, these two effects has not been welcomed by the populace. Most of the people are not happy, and they have demonstrated their anger and unhappiness with there are some demonstrations. And now the Russian government or the leadership has already put some new regulations where demonstrations and I will say unintended criticism to government leaders are going to be penalized by the laws. This becomes more and more, I would say, anti-democratic administration by the Russian leadership. Now, since it is happening, Russian leadership, of course, knows that they have to give something back to the country and the populace. So they said that in 2019, February, Russian President Putin has annually on TV and answering all the questions. And he has said that they are going to give more to the people with some disabilities. Families with more than 3 or 4 children are going to have some tax cut, and they are going to give more money to the elders and the mothers without a job, and so on and so forth. Sometime later, after these announcements on TV, the finance minister, has said that these new steps to Russian economy will be 1.5 billion. It will cost, meaning that they will give it back to people. So, considering 140 million as a population, and 1.5 billion in annual burden to Russian economy, it's additional $10 around. And $10 in Russian economy means peanuts. It's just peanuts. So meaning that the Russian leadership, although they have announced these kind of developments, they are going to give on TV or an announcement that they are saying that they will do everything just to give everything back to people and so on and so forth. While from the other hand, they are taking almost double or 3 times or even 10-fold, I will say, from each family. Why? Because they have been foreseeing that there will be the annexation of Crimea will not be solved. US or EU will not recognize this at all, so the sanctions will be intact, whereas the oil and the gas prices will not go up like it was before 2012. So meaning that the Russian economy is going to heavily be, I will say, influenced or affected. Moreover, US and EU, they will put more sanctions to Russia. And one of the way is that we are hearing and reading the reports that the debt bonds that Russia is trying to now publish or sell will be sanctioned by US. And which means that it will be much more harder for Russian leadership to turn around all these debts. So meaning that the Russian economy from today to 5 years, even to 10 years, is going to be declining gradually. Although there were some good steps, but these steps will not be really as better as it was in before 2012. So the population is getting now older, so it means that the people is going to work more. It's going to create unhappiness and unrest within the population. There will be more tax in the system, economic systems, which means that the people are going to give more. Then the Russian leadership will say, okay, now I'm going to give you something, but they will take back again everything that they have given to them. And once there is an oligarchy, like we are all known, all these oligarchy, and they have billions of dollars in various banks, not only in Russia, but mostly out of Russia, especially US economy, it will create even more unrest. So Russia from today to minimum 5, maybe even to 10 years, the economy will decline, meaning that their effects or their, I will say, influence in the Middle East is going to get less. They will try to more concentrate on Ukraine and also the Crimea, because it's initially their initiatives to protect there, not the Middle East, which means that it's going to create some kind of power vacuum in the Middle East, especially the northern Syria, which Turkey's interest lays over there. So I believe that our projections shows that with other factors considering, and the US is now going to leave the area, and also the Russian economy is going to get weaker, Iran's economy is going to get weaker, it will create all these vacuums, power vacuums in the northern Iraq and northern Syria. Turkey has to, or is obliged to, or is left with no choice but to fill in. And that is considering the economy is very bad in Turkey, and we are also projecting that there will be a major crisis in Turkey, either this year or next year, top 2020. This is going to create big problems with the Turkish economy, but whatever the result is, Turkey cannot give up, because we have excess landmark. We are neighboring to these areas. Turkey is going to fill in these powers, whatever the cost is. So it will be more and more burden for Turkish economy, and we are expecting also very heavy taxes to be introduced in coming years in Turkey too. So we will monitor all the coming events and developments, not only with Russia, but other Middle East countries, and we will report them to you accordingly. Thank you for watching us.